Let's see. What should we move to now, David? We got a few things here.
So, there is one thing I need to cover this for folks, and things got a little bit we went on a little bit and we lost our spot when we were talking about the Reddit stuff, and particularly the Janet Yellen stuff. Um, because I wanted to also add, let me get this in front of me because I have some notes here. I just wanted to mention another person. So we talked about what happened with Janet Yellen, right? Janet Yellen, who was getting ridiculous amounts of money to speak, $7 million in total, but around $880,000 to speak at one of the firms that is right in the middle of this Reddit story. And obviously, it was very funny to watch Joe Biden's administration try to sidestep that very serious charge. We need to continue bringing that into the public light and understanding. But there's also another case of just really nasty financial corruption that's coming into the Biden administration, and it's happening very much under the radar, which is the secretary, the nominee for the Commerce Secretary, Gina Raimondo, governor of Rhode Island. Just so people understand, and there's a lot more shady stuff about her, but I just want to make sure that people at least understand the top lines of this, because it's ridiculous, especially that this person is going to come into, very likely, into power unimpeded. Also, doesn't look like she was grilled on any of these connections at all. Um, so somehow she got the state of Rhode Island to entrust her very small firm at the beginning of the 2000s, to entrust her very small venture capital firm, Point Judith Capital, with their pension funds, and also was charging rates way above market for that kind of service, right? So a small firm that typically wouldn't get a huge contract like a state pension, which is what, that's what a venture capital firm dreams of,
Right.
getting that money to play with, people's hard-earned money. Let's not forget that. But that's a lot of money for them to play with.
Yeah, their
Um,
retirements.
their retirements, yeah, exactly. Getting that money and charging the state super high rates. Again, unproven venture capital firm. She then later becomes the state treasurer of Rhode Island and begins to worry that the state's budget is out of whack. Now, when she's investigating why the state's budget is out of whack, it's not that they are paying absurd amounts of money to her venture capital firm. It's that public employees are being paid too highly, and also the state's pension benefits are too high, and they're paying out retirees too much. So she cuts those benefits for people, and she cuts the payments that were going out to people who are already retired, instead of addressing her actual function in that capital firm. She later becomes governor of the state of Rhode Island, which is her current position, but she will resign if she becomes the Commerce Secretary. And she continues to act as this contract goes up for renegotiation, that it's so ironclad that they can't get out of it. Right? That is just like this
It's
impossible
contract
path
law.
to get out of this nasty contract that she's put a wall of separation, obviously, as everyone can imagine, between herself and the company now. But she still gets payments. Most recent I could
That's a
find.
nice wall. I like
Yeah,
walls like that,
I
like
like walls where I'm not
insecure.
involved.
Yeah, insulate me from any kind of responsibility, but also get the check gets through.
Her most recent payment, at least this was in 2019, from the Providence Journal, reported, was $888,000 and some change. Right, not a small amount of money, and that's a yearly payout. This is somebody who's profited immensely from this, absurd relationship with the state pension, and also just like, if it's not bad enough that this person is just profiting, which is just like corrupt and egregious on in and of itself. This is somebody who actually, when they came into politics, used a fiscal crisis to attack working people and the benefits that were being paid out of that pension fund. It's just despicable. I mean, I don't want to be a doomer or anything like that, but if you want to, like, I would definitely try to push this out there and make sure that people understand, who this person is. But it's looking like she's just going to roll through. It looks like, because they don't care, because it's just nonsense about, creating green jobs and dealing with the threat of China. That's what they've been worked up about. And her idea that, we need to create jobs for the future and new technology and just whatever buzzwords, right? No real serious questions into these relations. So.
Mhm. Yeah, it's you know, we were talking about a little bit before the show, but so she pulls $800,000 from that. Is that what we said? Um, and a way I think people need to start quantifying those types of figures in terms of like what you can do with it, particularly in terms of like what does that mean for a person's salary? So $800,000. Let's say you like ballpark it is $80,000 a year. You can just have somebody be your worker. Whatever you want them to do, you have $80,000 in how you know depressed people's wages have been. That's 10 people that just for like being part of this you know company she
Oh,
can
man.
order around for a whole year. And I
Yeah.
mean, I also thought about this in the context of all this speculation with GameStop and just hedge funds in general. Is like these guys making billions of dollars in hedge funds. You know what kind of that's an army basically, or at least like a small battalion that you can
Oh man, it's
squat
scary
out.
to think about what they could do with that money.
And that's ultimately like the like it's this can't we got to stop looking at it as that because especially when people aren't getting enough money to sustain themselves over the course of the year and you have these people like, hoarding it as if like Forbes puts it up like it's some sort of like um what's that game where you pinball like high scoreboard, right? But these are livelihoods that these people are, you know, earning passively by being capitalists.
No, exactly. And yeah, and passively for them, off the backs of many, many people's who spend their life in public service,
Yeah.
uh, which is it's cruelty beyond belief.
It's
But
real.
I
I
just
mean, it's really like disgusting. You hear like my parents are both nearing retirement age, and like just they have to follow like CNBC to make like to see what kind of material retirement they're gonna have,
mm,
and you know like hopefully they get out at the right time. It's all just gambling, and it is
yeah,
really like like it disgusts me how much this is permeated people's imaginations about what can be done. Like you need to speculate your wages in order to ever retire.
mm,
When we could just provide this stuff for people.
yeah. I think that's on point, man.